What is up, and welcome to Me, You, and Switch 2. I am me, Tom Tate, and you are you. So let's talk about Switch 2. This is the latest and greatest Nintendo Switch 2 news brought to you every Tuesday and Friday in snackable 5 to 10 minute episodes. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you for being here. Today happens to be Tuesday, April 28th. It is 7:57 a.m. on the East Coast. This is episode 95. We are quickly approaching episode 100, and I'm really tempted. I'm really tempted to do something fun and creative and exciting for episode 100. On one hand, I'm very stoked to see the show hit that milestone. But on the other hand, I am super lazy and I would much rather spend any extra time I have playing games than talking about games. But I do think we owe it to the show, right? So I'm going to put some thought into it and hopefully I can pull something together. We've got a really short one today. Last Friday, Final Fantasy XIV director and producer Yoshi P and Square Enix president and CEO Takashi Kiryu made a big Nintendo Switch 2 announcement. This was not expected on my end. Maybe a few fans were looking for this, but Final Fantasy XIV will come to Switch 2 in August. We don't have an official release date, but they did say this summer. Final Fantasy XIV, for those who don't know, this is an MMORPG. It's like Final Fantasy XI. It's not one of the typical single-player mainline entries in the series. So this is a big deal for fans of this style of game, for fans of this game, which has seen many iterations, many expansions. The announcement was made during their fan festival event, and it did feature a demo. They showed a demo of gameplay on Switch 2. Apparently, it will run at a steady 30 frames per second. It'll support the new expansion, Evercold, which will release in January of next year. The big uproar was that the subscription model is going to be different. So in order to play on Switch 2, you need a monthly subscription in addition to any monthly subscription that you have on another platform like Steam or PS5. I think in the past, you paid one subscription for Final Fantasy XIV and you could play anywhere you wanted. You could play on Steam, you could play on PS5. Now you need a separate Switch 2 subscription. Not a big deal if the only place you'll play this is Switch 2. But if you're already a Final Fantasy XIV player and you want to continue to play on multiple platforms, it's like double dipping. It's a weird model. They didn't really justify it that well. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. I've never played an MMORPG though, so I've always been a bit intimidated by these. So this will be a fun one to watch and maybe dip my toes into. Speaking of Final Fantasy, this is breaking news. This was just released today, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the sequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake, it arrives on June 3rd. It just received a demo on Switch 2. So this contains the first 2 of 14 chapters, which is pretty substantial. And I believe Chapter 2 introduces the Queen's Blood card game. So anyone that played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth knows about this game, Queen's Blood. It is so addicting and fun. So if you wanted to, you can dive into Queen's Blood right now on Nintendo Switch 2. Very tempting for a Tuesday morning, right? I'm actually thinking about doing this myself, but in all reality, I'm probably going to start work as soon as I'm done publishing this episode. Mina the Hollower has officially gone gold. It hasn't even released yet. According to Yacht Club Games, we still don't have a release date, but they said that it'll be announced soon. So we're still waiting for this game, the sequel, not the sequel, but the latest game from Yacht Club Games, who is known for Shovel Knight, right? Which was a fantastic kind of throwback. Not too many new games released over the past couple of days, but Nintendo Life gave Opus Prism Peak an 8 out of 10. Very nice review. This is an animated style game where the main mechanic is photography. You have a camera, you have a journal. Alana Hagues wrote the review. Here's a quote from the review. Sugono, who I believe is the developer, has proven once again that it understands powerful emotional storytelling with Opus Prism Peak, a game about self-reflection, acknowledging what's come before, and moving on. It's the most Studio Ghibli-like game I've ever played in a way that goes beyond aesthetics. So the joys on this review, absolutely beautiful art style and visuals. And I can attest to that just looking at the screenshots and a couple demos. Character writing is fantastic. Camera and journal are well implemented. You'll laugh, cry, and smile multiple times. And the cons, inconsistent and unstable frame rate can be distracting, and it's very easy to miss stuff. Now, she does mention in the interview that there is likely going to be a patch which fix some of the performance, some of the frame rate challenges. So hopefully, if you play this game a little bit later on, you might miss all of that. But again, 8 out of 10, good score. I guess that's it for today. We're just past the 5-minute mark, but I don't really have too much else to talk about. Bandit Trap is coming out this week. That's an interesting game. It'll arrive on Thursday. It's a 3-versus-1 game that seems to take inspiration from Home Alone, where you kind of set traps throughout a house to catch the bad guys. This Friday is the first of the month. So next episode, as is tradition, we'll take a look at all the games we know of hitting Switch 2 in May. That look-ahead episode has become one of my favorite episodes each month. I like preparing for it. I like delivering it. And I really like kind of looking to see what's coming next. All right. Kind rating or review goes a long way. Helps me continue to grow the show as we approach episode 100. I don't do any promotion for this show. No promotion, no ads. This show is solely growing by word of mouth and people discovering it in the podcast directory. So your support helps incredibly. I will read any reviews on the show if you post one. Switch2pod.com for all the things. That's Switch with the number 2 pod. I'm over on Blue Sky and Instagram at Switch2pod as well if you need to reach me. I will talk to you on Friday. Much love. Now go play some games.